Alright, so I thought it'd be quite funny to play the same deck that I play in Pokemon TCG in Pocket. And, well, here we go. We got Dogbox. I finally got all the cards I needed. These were a bitch to get. The Eevees, can't click on them though. And also the Flareons. Everything else was fairly, like, easy to get. If you play the TCG, you'll notice that it's actually quite eerily similar to how the deck functions in the actual TCG. So usually you used to only play one Leafeon, so it was like 2 Flareon, 2 Leafeon, and Sylveon. However, obviously this is Pocket, so the cards are very different as to what they do. All right, the ranked ladder is on the way. We're getting there. We're like why did I say like halfway there? We're halfway there. I'm not American. My fellow Americans, this is President Obama speaking. Obamacare. Shout out Obama, man. Or not, I don't know. Did he commit any war crimes while he was the president? Not too sure. I don't really keep up with American politics. I kind of just look at how the dollar's doing, and if the dollar's doing good, then I'm upset. And if the dollar's doing bad, that means good for me, because my money's worth more. Yippee! Anyway, Eevee time. Dude, okay, so I don't actually like the Eevees. Contrary to popular belief, seeming as my entire YouTube career, my main channel was built upon Eevees, I have, like, my first international event, okay, maybe not, no, yeah, my first, like, event that I did well in was EOIC 2023, and, yeah, the entire merch line there was the Eevees, which is kind of funny, to be honest, and I am a bit upset because I don't like any of the Eevees, really. The only one that kind of tickles my fancy is Fire Dog with the fire on his head. The rest of them I just don't really care for, to be honest. Like, the rest are just, like, they're there, I guess. Like, at the best, they're there. I don't really like give a shit about them, which is kind of funny though, because of the whole, you know, my career was built upon these guys. Anyway, we're gonna red card him. Imagine a red card in the TCG, like just the same way it is right now. It's just your opponent shuffles a hand and draws 3 cards. Imagine going first and just ripping that. Like, dude, that would be dumb. Anyway, so another card that I think would be really cool in the TCG would be this. Dude, imagine this card in the actual TCG, and you can choose one. So it's either your Eevees do, and you can, it's an item. So imagine playing like 4 of them. So you could like make your Eevees do 10 more damage, or you just rip the other one and heal, right? Like, that would be kind of gas. Alright, so this one is the attach. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm starting to... Okay, wait. First of all, let's evolve this into Sylv... the thing is, what are the odds of us finding a Sabrina? Pretty low. I think we can just kind of... I think we can just swing into... Nah, let's Sylveon. I'd rather find, like, stuff to do, because the rest of the hand ain't great. Yeah, we'll draw some cards. If the people are watching this video on the second channel and are wondering why I'm speaking so well and put together, that's because this video is also going on my main channel. I thought it'd be funny to make content on this game again because, well, yeah, I announced today that I'm going to be playing this deck to the World Championships. So yeah, I'm quite excited. You know, like I was jumping back and forth between Gardevoir and Dogbox, and then Grimmothy Snarlison, Grimmsnarl kind of popped in a little bit, and I was thinking about him, but in the end, it was always Dogbox. It was always meant to be. I've been playing with the Noctowls since they were released back in... Okay, so, funny story time. So I was in Japan when... What was it called? I think it's... I don't know what the set was called in Japan, but the set with the Noctowls... What was the set called over here? Prism... No, it wasn't... Stellar Crown. So over there, I don't know what the set was called exactly, but when it came out in Japan, I'm pretty sure we just win this turn. How does this whole thing work, like with the Flareon? How does this thing work? To one of your grass Pokemon. Oh, never mind. Okay, we don't win this turn. So I was in Japan when that set came out with the Noctowls and the Terapagos and stuff, and I was in Japan at the time, and it was quite funny because I was chatting up to a guy called, you know what? I'm not gonna dox the guy. Let's call him Robert. I was talking to a guy called Robert, and he was from Hawaii, and that's where the World Championships was being held, right? At the time, it was being held in Hawaii. and we were just kind of yapping, you know, as humans do, yapping to each other, and bro went out and just straight up bought me a booster box. Okay, so look, booster boxes over in Japan aren't like, you'll think, holy shit, that's insane. No, booster boxes, they aren't as expensive as they are here. So in the US, a booster box for Pokemon is, I think it's probably like, let's say $100, $110. Dude, I don't buy product, you can tell. It costs a bit of money. It costs a little chunk of change. Whereas over in Japan, it's about $40 for a booster box. It's not that much, right? It's not an dude, we found, okay, we don't play Cyrus. I was almost bitching and moaning. I'm gonna evolve this one into the Leafeon, and then I'm going to Forest Breath into this one. Like, this game feels chalked for him, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, the whole thing was that the booster boxes aren't that expensive, right? It's like $40, but still, you know, for me, $40, that's, at that time, that was, even right now, you know, $40 is a good chunk of money. I live in South Africa, I'm poor as shit, you know, I don't have a full-time job. So yeah, YouTube's going pretty well though, so shout out YouTube for paying me a little bit of pocket money, you know? But yeah, so he got me a booster box. Took me a very long time to get to the point where I say he got me a booster box, right? And in that booster box, I opened it and I ripped a alt art Terapagos, bunch of the Noctowls. Dude, I was able to, and from that day, I fell in love with the owls. My team, we each had like a special, you know, Pokemon that everyone was good at. One of them was good at Eevee Max, one of them was good at Charizard EX at the time, and then since I was yapping so much to them about Terapagos, I got dubbed the Terapagos guy. And honestly, I feel like I've lived up to the name. Like, after that, I guess I fell off a little bit with Terapagos, because I didn't really, because I still had to practice for the World Championships, because I was like still just around the corner. You know, don't ask a woman her weight or age or whatever it is. Don't ask a man his salary, and don't ask me what happened at 2025 World Championships, or no, 2024 World Championships. Yeah. And then what was it? And then yeah. So what happened after that was I was dubbed the Terapagos guy, and I went back to Japan later after the whole debacle, the beginning of this year actually. And I didn't really like, this is where Tor just played, this is where Terabox was becoming a thing in Japan, right? Rotation happened in Japan, so Terabox was picking up steam because there was no Manaphy. So yeah, people were like, damn, you know what, Terabox, pretty good. And when I got there, I built Terabox, I played one singular game of it, decided it was shit, and then left it for like 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks later, one of my friends asked me to test with him, and I asked him if there's any decks he wants to play, and I played Terabox. I didn't drop a game. We played like 8 games in a row, and I didn't drop a game. Bro got smoked. But yeah, so after that, I was like, okay, this is the deck. And I went to a Japanese tournament with like 200 people, and I made it to finals, lost in finals, because you know me, I can never win a finals. And yeah, I was like, holy shit, wait, I'm Himalayan. I'm him. They must have amnesia because they forgot I'm him. Okay, I think I'm gonna let this Eevee die. I think I'm gonna allow you to perish, my sweet prince. Am I? Actually, nah, I'm not gonna let you die. I'm not gonna give up on you just yet. But yeah, so I was like, damn, you know what? This shit's kind of chalked. This shit's kind of chalked. And the deck felt insane at the time. I was like running hot. I was winning tournament after tournament after tournament, and like doing really well. And when I got back to South Africa, I had the SPE coming up, right? The SPE, for those of you who aren't really well versed in the whole Pokemon thing, the SPE is called a special event, and it is a thing that happens in South Africa twice a year. For example, it's like a regional, right? It's mainly to your like only in your region is where it occurs, and it's a big thing for South Africans, mainly because in South Africa we don't get a lot of like events of this size, and it's a very big event because the highest placing South African at that tournament gets free flights and free accommodations sponsored by Pokemon themselves. So this was like, you know, an event I need to lock in, and I wasn't actually going to try and qualify for Worlds this year because of a few. That's just an asshole. That's just a shitty thing to do. What? Yeah. Now I can't attack. Kinda cringe. Kinda cringe. Kinda cringe. So yeah. I was... Is there anything like... I can't like cheese an attack out this turn, right? I don't think so. I think I just have to manually attach that there and then just pass it over. Yikers. But yeah, so can we Mars? I think yeah, we can freaking fucking Mars. Bro's got quite a few cards in that hand of his Maranga. So I wasn't really planning on qualifying the Worlds, right? I didn't really feel like it. I was getting a bit burnt out of the game, right? And then my Japanese friends, like, honestly, if you guys ever go to Japan, you have to go pop past Bar Unknown. Shout out the people from Bar Unknown. I love you guys. So they were kind of like, they were telling me, you know, just go for Worlds, bro. You know, like I'm moving to Japan, so the odds of me qualifying for Worlds next year, like while I'm studying and stuff, are low. It's your last year to give it a good shot. So I was like, you know what? That's fair point. That's good enough motivation. Fuck it, we ball, right? And from that moment onwards, I was like, yeah, let's do it, I guess. Why not, right? What do I have to lose, you know? What's the optimal evolution? Probably the Flareon. So I was like, what do I have to lose, right? Nothing from just trying. So I try, and I get back to South Africa, the first tournament back in South Africa. I'm playing Flareon box, actually, and I end up winning the event, right? I end up winning the cup, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, this is pre-rotation. And then post-rotation, first event is, well, yeah, it's the SBE. And SBE rolls around, I'm playing Terapagos. And because of the goats, that gave me the motivation to actually play the game. Well, yeah, I ended up winning the event, actually. I won the entire thing. And because of them, well, no, sorry, I didn't win the entire thing. I got... Can I attack with him? No, I can't attack with him. I got second place, but I was the highest placing South African. I played Terapagos there. And yeah, because of that, I am now going to Worlds, right? For free, with free flights and free hotel. Very nice. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how it ended up. Not a bad day in the office, if you ask me. And that's all thanks to... Honestly, it's all thanks to Robert. It all ties in the end to Robert, you know? Shout out Robert. You know who you are if you're watching this. You probably aren't though. Never heard from that guy again after that moment. But yeah, shout out that guy. If it weren't for that guy, I wouldn't be going for Worlds this year. I probably wouldn't have made this YouTube channel. I wouldn't have like uploaded videos because honestly, Terapagos was the reason that I kind of started doing these whole video things. You know? So honestly, that's about it. That's like my story of Dogbox and why I really respect the deck, you know, why this deck is like kind of means a lot to me. This deck and like Terapagos, any like Noctowl oriented deck, they mean a bunch to me. Like they've given me a lot, and I guess the least I can do in return is play it to Worlds, you know? It's like full circle. Before Worlds, Noctowl came out, wasn't legal for that Worlds, and now this is Noctowl's first Worlds legal, and hopefully I can bring it to the thing. Another thing is that it really reminds me of Arceus. But that's a story for another day. That's another yap for a different day. Well, thanks for listening to the yap session. And there's a little bit of lore. Add that to the universe, the loreverse, the Harperverse. I don't know. The Harperverse. Fuck it, we ball.